what's going on, everybody? If you remember, just a little while back I did an unboxing video for some additional car parts purchased for the eBay build, and those included some eyelids for the headlights of the Infiniti Q50. I got them off eBay from a company called Car Connections, I want to say, Car Connections LLC, I believe it was. Anyway, I'll put a link to the part and the company in the description below, and I'll put a link to that previous video up above as well. Long story short, the eyelids came in broken. The ends were snapped off on both sides, only held on by the 3M two-sided tape on the back side. I thought I was gonna be able to fix them. I probably could have with a little more patience, and they were scuffed, the complete length of each of the eyelids as well. I can put a link to that video as well above, where I did kind of a quick review of some polish and scratch remover on those eyelids, which work pretty well. So check out those videos if you would. But I'm going to open this package right here and see if Car Connections on eBay was able to, or if they were able to redeem themselves. I let them know what the issue was, provided some pictures, didn't even mention the YouTube video, which is cool. And they said they would take care of it. They'd be glad to give me a full refund or send out some new ones. Obviously I wanted the part, so I chose to have them send out some new ones. Their communication is a little bit slow, but they seem to be very nice and very accommodating. So let's open it up. It's packaged the exact same way. That's one first thing I noticed. So we'll see if the ends are snapped off of these as well. Lord, I hope not. Based on the address on the postage, I don't know if they're like they don't actually have their own parts. I think a lot of the companies are doing that these days, just selling parts and having them shipped directly from that supplier. The narrowest end that was broken off, so it was this piece that was broken in the last one. As you can see, this one is just fine, thankfully. Again though, probably can't see it, there's a little bit of it scuffed nearly the entire length. Some good polish and a little bit of elbow grease takes that out. Again, they're not painted. I'm not sure how exactly they're made, but it's definitely not a coating, it's not a paint. So it was questionable at first was whether they'd be able to be buffed or not, and they are. So that's good. Not broken. And numero dos. Not broken. Good deal. And a little scuffage. Not too bad. They look pretty good overall. My bad, everybody, on the company name. It's actually CarPartsConnectionInc. CarPartsConnectionInc on eBay. I was way off. I knew it started with a car though. But they were able to redeem themselves. Again, I don't think it was really an issue with the company itself, why these eyelids came broken in the first place. They are packaged pretty tightly in this little cardboard wrap they put it in. So I imagine just a little too much pressure was put on those thin corners or those thin ends and they snapped right off, or you never know how UPS or the Postal Service handles packages. So not blaming them, but either way they were willing to make it right and make sure their customer was happy. So I really appreciate their efforts despite a little slow communication. What are you going to do about it? You know, they're selling tons of parts every month, so I appreciate them helping me out. Again, not broken, a little bit scuffed. It's eBay. My expectations are never super high when I order parts, so it takes a bit of time, just a few minutes to buff some of these scuffs out. I'll get them installed on the car, and we'll continue on with the eBay build on the old Q50. So stay tuned. Please check out those links that I provided above to some past videos, and also check out CarPartsConnectionInc on eBay and see if they got anything you'd be interested in. All right, fine. Well, I'm super impatient. I couldn't wait. I just went ahead and put those eyelids on the car. Check it out. I should tell you that these particular eyelids for the Infiniti Q50 off eBay were only $35 or $39. So I would say, despite having to go through some of the issues that I had to go through, and the scuffs, I think it's actually a really good deal. It comes with the 3M two-sided tape, and it's a nice gloss black. I'm not sure if that particular company has any other finishes available, but the gloss black is pretty nice. The one thing I did notice, though, in comparison to some of the other ones that I've seen out there, is that they don't seem quite as wide or have the additional contour. They sit basically right on top, as do the others, but some others I've seen seem to be a little bit wider, or maybe come down a bit further on the headlight itself. But I'm super impatient, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them on and let you guys take a look after. Here we go. Eyelids have been installed. Just took a couple of minutes. Super easy to do. As far as installation goes, one thing I would suggest would be to first test fit it, dry fit it. Don't take the backing off the tape. Hold them up or set them on the headlight where they'll go, lined up exactly how you want it. These in particular, maybe some of the more expensive ones don't do it, but you could tell as I could tell as I set it up there, and I should have filmed that in the past, but I tested it out with the broken ones. The contour of the eyelid itself doesn't match exactly to the headlight. Very minor difference, but there was some, and I was worried that it would create too much pressure for the tape to hold the corners down since they are so small. I didn't want them popping up and causing issues or allowing water to get under them and cause the tape to fail down the road. So what I did, test fitted it, found exactly where it needed to be adjusted or finessed a bit, and I just applied some heat with the heat gun in the area, not getting it super hot, but just enough to where it was warmed up, and just kind of flexed it a bit, hoping that it might hold its shape. But ultimately what I ended up doing was just getting it warm in that area, allowing there to be more flex, sticking the eyelid onto the headlight, and just holding it in place. So allowing the tape to adhere in the right area, and in combination with the heat, was able to hold its shape until that tape was adhered properly, and then the eyelid remained in its shape. So they fit nicely now, and it doesn't seem to be any issue. So overall, happy. Definitely adds a different dimension to the car. Makes the front end just slightly more aggressive, but kind of gives it a unique look. Now this is, in particular, is what I was mentioning before as far as width goes. These don't come all the way out to the end, but they fit perfectly in the corners. So you couldn't bring this one out any further if you wanted to, as the corners wouldn't line up. So I think some of the other ones, they're generally a bit more expensive. They may come all the way out to the end, but I'm pleased with the overall look. We got some good things coming up with the car. We got some house projects going on, so please stay tuned, follow along. Let me know any other content you might be interested in seeing. I'd be glad to see what I can do to accommodate it. So thanks for watching. See you next time.